odds of life on Newfound Earth-sized planet, 100%, Astronomer says. So if I came across this article, the first thing I want to look at where it's located. This is a website called space.com, which is known to be pretty reputable. They cover space-related news, like things about NASA or SpaceX or other organizations. It's also worth noting that they make their money from ads. If I look down, I'll see ads on the sides or sometimes at the top or bottom or so forth. So it's worth noting where they get their funds from. So they want eyeballs to come look at their articles. I'm going to look down and start reading this. The first thing I notice here, this looks like it's an actual image, but if I read the caption, it says, "This artist's conception shows the inner 4 planets of the system." So this is not an actual image, this is a conception, this is a drawing. So it could really be of anything. As I start reading through these, Earth-sized planet has been spotted orbiting a nearby star. This all sounds very official, very real. But let's look up at the top here who wrote it. Jenna Berner over 10 years ago. So this article is over 10 years old. Well, maybe there's more information that's been discovered since then. So I'm going to look at what are these things here. These are actually called exoplanets. So what is an exoplanet? Let's start with that. I'm going to go to Google. What is an exoplanet? Now, NASA we know is a pretty good resource, so I'm willing to trust what they're having on their site. So I'm going to click on that, go to nasa.gov, and the short answer, all the planets around our solar system orbit the sun. Planets that orbit around other stars are called exoplanets. So anything that's not in our own solar system. Well, that makes sense. So let's look at what exoplanets is most like Earth. So now this is going to be on Wikipedia. Okay, so that kind of resource, again, sometimes legit, sometimes isn't. We want to make sure that we vet those things. We look them up and make sure that they're accurate, because anybody can change this. But if I'm looking here, there's, whoops, let me go back here for a second. Kepler 452b. Planet sometimes quoted as Earth's 2 or as cousin. We'll keep looking through here. Kepler, let's see, impression, again, another artistic impression. Actually looks like the same picture as before. But one of the things here is this is definitely more up to date than one was before. The last article was over 10 years old. Yes, it is on a pretty reputable source. But here's my other thing I would think about. If they did discover officially, if everybody agreed that yes, we just found a planet that has life on it, it's 100% odds of life, is that something that you would probably hear about everywhere? Anywhere that there's media, if it's on the news or on other sources of media or social networks, whatever, I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be simply just one article in one place. It would be everywhere. So I'm not saying that they're trying to convince you. At one time, this is a little bit more of an opinion piece, I think, even looking through some of the science that's on here. So I would actually qualify, if I looked at this, as not so much disinformation as misinformation. This information is 10 years old. So now there's certainly more up-to-date things than it was back then. So I think that would be probably more accurate.